Hi everyone, welcome to this video about variable speed limits. Now if you don't know what variable speed limits are, you see those ones above there on the gantry, that says national speed limit, the one on the left says max speed 50. So in this video I'm going to be taking a look at the difference between advisory speed limits and variable speed limits, which are compulsory and they are legal. So I was originally going to do a video all about motorway driving, about joining the motorway, leaving the motorway, about what to do if you break down in a motorway. But unfortunately there's a massive crash on the motorway this morning and I couldn't do that. So instead, here's a video about variable speed limits. It does kind of jump straight into the video because the introduction I did before for the other video, of course, I had to scrap because I had to change the video I was going to make. But here we go. Here we're going to take a look at variable and optional speed limits on the motorway. So now this is great already. You can see that there is a temporary speed limit of 40 miles an hour. Now you don't actually have to do this speed limit, and the reason is it's not in the red circle. You only have to do speed limits that are in red circles, they're mandatory. You see the sign for part-time signals as well. Now unfortunately the motorway is jammed. I didn't know it was going to be like this. It's actually worked out quite well. Now it's saying part-time signals. Part-time signals, which weren't actually there the last time I came here, these are very new, must have been put up in the last few weeks. Part-time signals, as you see, they're changing very quickly. These are to assist you in joining a motorway. This is actually really good this year because the motorway is so busy at the moment. You've got these part-time signals in use. So anyway, I'll check my mirrors, signal, and I'm joining very slowly. So I check my blind spot quickly. You notice I'm also leaning forward to look in the mirror. If you lean forward and look in the mirror, it actually opens up a lot of your blind spot. So you can actually see what's in your blind spot, whereas normally you wouldn't be able to. Now, I'm going to look at changing lanes in a moment because it's very, very busy. And I'll stay in the left lane just for now. And you are allowed to pass in the left lane like this if there's a slower moving queue of traffic in the right hand lane. What you shouldn't be doing, which is what the car behind you is doing, is change the lanes all over the place just to try and get in the fastest moving queue. You can't change lanes just because you want to get there quicker. In this situation, it's actually a lot better if you don't change lanes. Changing lanes is actually what causes traffic jams. There was a man once who did a study and he found that one of the main causes of traffic jams like this is when people keep changing lanes all the time, because when you change, the vehicle next to you has to slow down to let you in, and then that slows everyone down behind. It's what we call the shockwave effect. Now the shockwave effect is something I'll try and talk about later on if I can remember, because I've got so many things to cover. It's hard to cover it all in one video. But back to what I was saying about the signs there. When it says 40 miles an hour, you don't actually have to stick to 40 miles an hour. That's advice. And that man in the van's giving me a funny look, thinking what's that man doing with all the cameras in his car. So yeah, you don't have to stick to 40, and the limit has now gone, so I can increase my speed back up. But that limit was advisory, not compulsory. The way I could tell that, like I said, is that the sign was flashing orange, so you don't have to take notice of those signs. Now of course you should, because the idea is if everyone slows down, there won't be a jam further on, like I was just saying about the shockwave effect. If everyone goes down the motorway at 70, they all catch up the traffic jam, and then everyone starts braking, and that causes a shockwave effect, where down the motorway, it's like a ripple effect. You get loads of cars all braking and braking and braking. A bit like now, if I was to accelerate fast like this, now I'm braking, I'm causing a traffic jam by doing that, because I'm accelerating and slowing down and causing a traffic jam. Now it's very, very busy today, but thankfully, looking ahead, there's also another thing I wanted to show you, which is just what I was talking about. This is working out really well, about this car changing lanes again here. Now they are allowed to change there, but I'll tell you in a moment why they shouldn't be. But looking ahead, you may be see on the video, maybe not just yet, you've got some temporary speed signs, see that the kind of front saying, thanks by pointing out has the lights on. You've got some variable speed limits. Now you don't often get these. These are something I've only really seen around Birmingham and London. But these variable speed limits, now these are compulsory, these are legal, and you must do them. You'll see in a moment there's an overhead gantry and it's saying, I think it says 40, I can just about read it from here. Now, because that 40 in a red circle, you must by law do it. And how rare is this? Look, I've got a handbrake on the motorway. That's very rare. I don't normally drive on motorways that much, and I don't normally come out this early in the morning. So maybe it's always like this, but this is quite unusual for me to see motorway traffic like this. Anyway, what I was saying is further on, you've got the speed sign saying 40 miles an hour. Now, because it's in a red circle, you must do it. It's legal, it's compulsory, it's mandatory. Now, when you drive around Birmingham, on the back of these signs that have got the red circles on, many of them have speed cameras. And there's a common misconception that they don't work, because people all say, well, they never flash, they never work. These don't flash because they're digital speed cameras. So if you go down the road now the way I'm going, you can easily lose your licence within a few minutes, because if you go blasting down the motorway, you see the sign on the left there, variable speed limit, speed camera sign, or safety cameras if you want to call them that. So the speed limit is 40, so you must stick to 40 because it's in a red circle. I know I keep saying that, but it's very important to understand the difference between mandatory speed limits that you must do and optional speed limits that you don't have to do. Now I'm going to be following the M42, so look at the sign on the left there, and it's telling you that the left lane and the middle lane both go to the M42. That's why the car in front of me didn't have to be changing lanes, because if they'd stayed in the middle lane, that also goes to the M42. You can tell that because the arrow goes from the middle to the left. The arrow head doesn't go into the side, the tail of another arrow. That's quite hard to explain on the move. That'll be something I'll have to do in a future video, maybe with a few diagrams, but there are differences with the arrows on the signs. So looking now at the gantry, it's saying 60 miles an hour. So now I can go up to 60 miles an hour if it's safe to do so. So I'm checking around, there's a few lorries overtaking, and I can start to speed up now. You notice the white line on the floor now, the dot on my right, it's different, the length of the dots are different. Now when the lengths of the dots change, that means there's something coming up like a change of lanes, or a junction, or a slip road. So in this case, watch how the line's going to change now. You maybe can't see this on the video, but it's slowly getting shorter and shorter, and in a moment it will become one long solid line. So I'm just holding my speed, keeping a good distance from the car in front, at least 2 seconds. When he goes under those signs, I count to 2. 1 second, 2 second, yep, that's at least 2 seconds. That's the kind of distance you want, so if the car in front of me brakes, I can brake and stop safely. Notice the line's now a solid line, you cannot cross a solid line. If you do cross one of these solid lines, don't be surprised if a police car comes in behind you and pulls you up, because the whole of the motorway network is monitored and it's coming down to 50 now. You notice as well on the left there, max speed 50. You don't have to do 50 normally because that's the only advice, but because the overhead sign in the red circle says 50, I must do 50. So yeah, those lines back there, the solid lines you can't cross. All of these motorway networks are monitored closely. You see the speed camera lines on the floor there. That's when there used to be an old speed camera here. All of these motorway networks around Birmingham and around the country are very closely monitored by CCTV. And I can promise you that if you start breaking the laws and going over the lines, you will get police cars coming after you. If I now just signal to the right and go straight over that thick white line, that is bad. That is a big no-no. Even a really bad driver would not do that. Now the traffic is awful, what's going on? So it's caution on the sign above. So yeah, it's actually working out quite well, because I was hoping that it will be quite busy, otherwise, we'll get to show you later on when it's free, when it's open. But at the moment, this is good stuff. It's getting really, really busy. Okay, so I'm going to join the motorway again. So all I do, check my mirrors. I'm not going to indicate just yet because I can't join just yet. But I'm going to indicate about when the white lines become dotted, about here. So I'll signal to the right now, checking my mirrors and over my shoulder. Black car's overtaken, so I can join now, and on I go. Now further on this road, you may actually be able to start the motor on the, so this car's going to come here. That's so you don't want to change lanes, don't suddenly swerve over like that. But yeah, so further on you might actually be able to drive on the hard shoulder, because around Birmingham the hard shoulder is actually open for use. So that man in front is too busy looking down in his bag or something. Now it's okay if you turn the heater on like I did a few minutes ago, but you don't want to be staring down into a bag or fiddling around with your cameras or whatever when you're on the motorway. Again, I've stopped dead on the motorway. Very, very busy conditions today. There must have been an accident or something. Anyway, so when it's like this, I'm going to try and help out as many cars on the left as I can. So I'm going to hold back a little bit and try and let these ones on. Now, like I was saying, just the hard shoulder is actually open in Birmingham. So one on the left, that's what you don't do. Don't ever do that, that's stupid. That car is racing down the hatch markings, and that one is as well. This is what I call the sheep effect. You get one person does it, and everyone thinks, oh look, they're doing it, I'll do it as well. It's like being a sheep, you just follow each other. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So I've got a bit of a cough. Don't be surprised if you do that and you get a police car coming after you, because the lane now is ending on the left. This car I'm going to try and let in, although he's gone down the road there. Now see, the lane's actually open, like I was saying, the hard shoulder is open, but you still shouldn't go around hatch markings to get onto the hard shoulder. So I could even use the hard shoulder now, but looking above, he's actually saying hard shoulder for junction 4 only. You see there as well, the way the speed just changed on the signs, so 50 miles an hour. So checking my mirrors, but that car doesn't have to join. It looks like I'm forcing that car off the road, I'm not, because that car can use a hard shoulder. Okay, so I'll build it to 50 miles an hour now, and the car behind me is now come back in behind. It's come back in from the side to behind me. So 50 miles an hour, and again it's in a red circle, so I must do it. And there are speed cameras on the back of that sign. I don't know if you'll be able to see this on the rear camera, but there are actually grey boxes on the back of that sign, which is a speed camera. They're all speed cameras. Okay, so now the traffic's cleared a little bit. I've come back because the traffic was really bad. So the speed now is going up to 60 miles an hour, and I'm now using cruise control. You notice I'm not using my feet at all. I'm just going to use the buttons on the wheel here to accelerate. So if I hold this button up, I can accelerate using the buttons on the wheel. It's much safer and much easier to use this system whenever you can, if your car's fitted with it, because not that many cars in the UK have this. But now I'm doing 60 miles an hour. Looking ahead, it's saying 40 now, so I can hold the down button and I can slow down. It's safe to do this because the car behind me is a long way back. It doesn't need to see me braking, but I do actually need to brake, because if I don't, I'll be going too fast for the sign. So 40 miles an hour from now, and I engage cruise control again. The car behind me doesn't want to do 40 at all, but if he doesn't, he's going to get points on his licence. So, yep, if they want to go around, let them go around, let them get caught. That's up to them, that's their problem. But I'm going to stick to the speed limit and keep my clean licence. So looking ahead, another big traffic jam. So that's why the speeds come down to 40 miles an hour. So I'll check my mirror, that car behind's quite close. So I'm braking a little bit. And I'm now going to probably end up coming down to second or even first. So I'll brake, clutch. There's no one coming down this part of the slip road, so I'll try second. And I'll continue to roll through. If anyone was on the left here trying to join, then I would try and let them out, but at the moment there's no one there, no one trying to join. So I'll slow first gear. Again, that van ahead, the light, this car again is going to do what you shouldn't do. Don't ever do that, it's stupid. These people have no idea they're being watched, and they just think, oh, it's alright, I'll get away with it. You'll be amazed when you get a letter through the post giving you a fine for doing that. So yeah, there are cameras everywhere. You can't just go breaking the rules. People have this thing about, it doesn't matter, I just break the rules, no one's going to care. They will care and you will get caught. So anyway, straight ahead, I'm going to follow up the motorway, heading towards Tamworth. So the speed limit now is 40 again, so I'm sticking to about 40-ish. The speedo in the windscreen here is a little bit different to what my speedo says. That one is a little bit more accurate normally. So mine says 40 now, that one's saying about 36, 37. So anyway, let's get back to looking at motorway driving, because we've been quite busy there in traffic. But you see how easy it would be to get caught out and lose your licence here. I'm being very careful, because when you're filming a video and having to talk and all that, it's easy to not see the speed signs. So 40 again, speed cameras again. So I'm just dead to 40, or just below 40 now, 38. And off we go. So I've got nothing to worry about because I'm not speeding. People who choose to speed on the motorway, you might think you're being clever and big, getting there faster, and then the next week you get letters through the post saying you got 3 points, another 3 points, another 3 points. Now you've been banned, you've lost your job. Yeah, by the way, you can't pay your mortgage now. Whoops. Yeah, you don't feel so big and clever then. You'd wish you'd just taken an extra minute or two to get to where you were going. So you must stick to speed limits. They're not optional, these are compulsory. Okay, so I'm going to follow ahead for quite some way. Now, again, I'm using cruise control, 40 miles an hour. Now, I'm going to head up towards Tamworth now, where the road just starts to get a little bit wider. and I'm hoping that when I pass the airport the traffic isn't as busy, because at the moment it's been really busy. You see how many temporary speed signs there are? There's loads of them. So again, I'm going to keep my distance from the car in front, braking, keeping way back, and I'm going to select third gear. So I'm going to carry on. If it gets too busy, what I'll do is I'll cut this video short and I'll actually go and do another one about motorway driving, because maybe when I'm feeling a bit better and I don't keep coughing all the time, it might work out better. But yeah, so I'm still sticking to speed limit now. Not much choice at the moment because the traffic's so bad. So further on, I'm going to consider coming off the motorway, and I might cut this video a little bit short. And I'm sorry, I was going to make this all about motorways and everything to do with motorways, but at the moment it's really, really busy. So I haven't got much choice of much options to do that. I want to be driving at 70 miles an hour and to be showing you all these different things going on. But again, I've got a handbrake on the motorway, which is quite unusual. So creeping forwards now. Just going to see how bad this traffic is. So I'll come back in a moment. I'm just going to see how far this traffic's going, and then I'll come back in a bit when I've decided whether or not I'm going to carry on this video or maybe cut it a little bit short. Okay everyone, so it looks like unfortunately there's quite a long traffic jam today, and I'm not going to be able to finish this video as I wanted. I'm not going to be able to even get up to 70 miles an hour. So what I'm going to do is head off the motorway now, and I will be doing more videos in the future on the motorway. Sorry about that, I did try, but it's just too busy, the traffic's really bad. So anyway, I'm going to exit the road now, exit the motorway now. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and there will be more videos coming in the future. I will get the motorway one done because I know a lot of people want to see this, but unfortunately I've been thwarted by the traffic today. So sorry about that, but thanks for watching anyway, and I'll see you again next time for more videos.